about. Imagine you can't drive and had to rely on someone to get anywhere. Now imagine you can't use the computer and no one ever thought you could learn to use one. No Amazon, no Facebook. First, some numbers. Overall, twice as many people with disabilities live in poverty than their typically developing peers. And less than 30% of working age people are employed. National studies consistently rank transportation, transition programming, and bridging the technological divide as critical unmet needs in order to access the workforce. In response to significant demand, DSAW has successfully piloted transition programs across Wisconsin to teach employment readiness and life skills to people with special needs. However, the same individuals who need to attend our programs also struggle to find affordable, safe, reliable transportation to and from class. With your beautiful grant, we'll be able to purchase 2 12-passenger vans and provide transportation to and from our programs. We currently serve more than 1,500 families in Milwaukee alone with no vehicles of any kind. My amazing team are often recent graduates driving broke down cars, driving our friends around so that they can access our programs. In addition, we'll be able to pilot a new employment skills course, Digital Ability, that focuses on teaching digital literacy skills needed for more than half of today's jobs. The data overwhelmingly indicates that this program is successful at helping people with special needs utilize technology in careers that they would otherwise not been available to them. More than 300 people will directly benefit from this project over 2 years. However, although we start that ripple here in Greater Milwaukee tonight, we compound it exponentially as we replicate it across our 14 locations in Wisconsin. In the past 2 years, with a teeny tiny budget and an even smaller staff, DSAW has won 14 global and national awards for what we're doing here in Wisconsin to advance the lives of people with Down syndrome. You are part of advancing that movement tonight. You see, we are truly at a critical time in the history of people with Down syndrome in our society. At the exact same moment when expectations are limitless, unfortunately, good news is slow to reach the general public. Countries such as Iceland, Denmark, China, and France, huge global leaders, are already touting their 100% Down syndrome-free societies. For 8,000 families in Wisconsin, having a loved one with Down syndrome has been one of the single greatest experiences of our lives. By casting your vote for DSAW tonight, you are part of changing that global narrative. You are saying proudly to the world that you support giving self-sufficiency and purpose to individuals with special needs. Think back to my opening questions. You have the opportunity tonight to give people transportation, to give them employment opportunities, to give them hope. So I have one final question for you. Raise your hand if you were alive in 1989. Well, in 1989, less than 30 short years ago, the average life expectancy for a person with Down syndrome was 28. In 1989, the average life expectancy was 28. This is my good friend and colleague, Andrew Gerbitz. Andrew was born in 1983. Today, Andrew is 35 and fabulous. Luckily, when Andrew was born, his family was one of the few who received a diagnosis of hope. The first thing medical experts would have said to families like his was, "I'm sorry," followed almost immediately by, "You should put him in an institution because he will never read, he can never learn, he will never speak, he will be a burden to your family and no value to your community." But you see, the good news is plentiful. Today, just 29 short years later, the average life expectancy of a person with Down syndrome is 60. And my dear friend Andrew, who just so happens to have Down syndrome, lives independently in his own apartment. He can not only read and write, he's CPR and childcare certified. Today, Andrew's a long-tenured board member of the Down Syndrome Association of like more than 50 times over. He's a 2016 Waukesha County Business Alliance Emerging Leader for being CEO of Andrew's Voice, a motivational speaking company where Andrew advocates for the value of people with special needs. Just 35 years ago, if Andrew's family had been one of those families who listened to those experts, he might not be with us here tonight. So tonight, you tell Andrew what sort of value you think he has in your community.
My name is Gerbitz, and I probably live with Down syndrome. I'm not Down's person. I am not suffering from Down syndrome. It is not a code. You cannot catch it. Anyway, I think you will find that I am more like you, that I am different. I wanted to live in my own apartment, so I worked very hard with my family at DSAW until I reached my goal. I wanted to work as a child care teacher and to run my own business, like you. I want to earn through enough money to take care of myself. I want to marry my best friend Nat and take care of her too. I like to communicate with people and navigate my world through technology. My friends and I don't want to be stranded, unsafe, without transportation anymore. We want to live